Is going on, everybody? Back in the village. Dirty Randy here, and we're ready for another day. Just loaded up some of our goodies. We don't have too many, but used our good old skid steer. Did a wonderful job for us, and this trailer is absolutely humongous for this map, honestly. It's quite a small town, and there's some tight spaces, and we're going to drop off some lettuce, a little bit of honey this morning, but I believe we're going to the pizzeria for our lettuce. It seemed like it was the best price when I checked this morning, but looking on the map, it looks like it's a pretty tight spot, so I'm going to see if we can squeeze in there. We might have to, well, get good or get a smaller trailer. We'll try and put on the brakes here so we don't hit this guy. Nice. Well, I was going to say calm morning, but it looks to be pretty popping in the village this morning. So I believe our entrance is actually right here, but I think I kind of want to reverso in there if we can. So we might just pull in here. Thankfully, there's not a whole lot in this field. I'm so sorry, farmer friend. And we're going to get it done. Oh, this is cool, but I don't know if I can reverse like this. Using the rear view cam. We gotta squeeze. Oh no, we hit something. Jeez, there is such a tight squeeze with all these little guardrails in here. But I think it wasn't too bad for a first try. And yeah, it looks like they're scooping up our lettuce just there. So that should be a little bit of a profit. Nothing too crazy for us. But I don't believe they'll take our honey. So we're gonna have to go hunt for another spot to take that in town. Alright, that's made it a lot easier for us to pull out of here after we've sold for a nice little $9,200 profit. So that's pretty good. Honestly, I feel like that goes a decent way in town here for us. If we can find... This kind of looks like a restaurant. I'd say so. Maybe we need to get up there. I don't know. But I'm holding up traffic, so maybe I will. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. We'll pull over and we'll find where to get rid of all this honey. Alright, thankfully we did not have to squeeze our way up on that balcony. We just got to wrap around here at the farmer's market. So it looks like they got quite the compound in here. That's pretty good. Let's see if they can squeeze all of our honey in. No problem. A tidy $2,400 profit from both of those guys. So that's pretty good. I'll take that any day of the week. Just for a little bit of honey too. That's awesome. So we'll check out what the farm store's got for us. Looks like still a lot of big machinery that we can't really use. But I think today we might be interested in picking up a plow. We do have a subsoiler that seems to do the job, but I wouldn't mind getting something a little bit bigger, not even necessarily to hold on to keep, but just something to lease to get some work done. So $800, that seems pretty good considering the amount of money we made today. So we're gonna lease that and just bring that on back with us today, because we actually have a lot of plowing to do. So this is coming really handy, and it's pretty much the biggest size we can get for our horsepower range, but it should do us pretty well. Alright, got the shop all loaded up for us, thankfully, so that is awesome. And I think we're going to avoid going on the bridge, because this is, well, not exactly pedestrian friendly. We can barely make it through some of these roundabouts, but we're trying our best, alright? Oh, there's deer on the road. Excusez-moi? Thank y'all. Alright, we should be back in no time, and it looks like the sun is just peeking into the valley here. So it should give us plenty of daylight to get all these jobs done. We do have a few fields that we kind of want to deal with. We have kind of our cotton field that unfortunately we weren't really able to harvest, and so that's going to have to go. And it's probably just going to get combined, I think, into our little grass field beside it. But I think at the same time, that also needs to get plowed, that soil, so we might just do all of it. I'm not sure how the cornfield is, but I think that might even need some as well. And even our olives, that soil, I was looking at it, and it's not in great condition. It could probably use getting a plow, which would mean getting rid of all of our olive vines, which is kind of unfortunate. but at the same time, it would leave us a lot of room to expand, and we could maybe work on our grafting skills over the winter and try and get some more grapevines in there just to really boost up that harvest, because we only really have one harvester, so that would kind of make sense. Maybe we just leave this guy up here for now. I don't... Oh my gosh, running into stuff already. So I think we'll just do that, and we should be pretty good to come pick it up. But yeah, all of these vines might have to go, because they're just really not going to be outputting their best harvest, even if we just leave it as is. So that's kind of unfortunate, but at the same time, gives us an opportunity to expand on our vineyard. This field, we did buy it. I thought it was grass, but it's not grass. It's actually barley. But, you know, you can see my confusion. That's grass. Barley. It just looks like it's more dense grass, to be fair. Hasn't really started growing just yet. But that's okay, because we can feed that to our chickens, which is really awesome, because I don't think our little field of wheat over there is going to be enough to sustain them forever. So having a whole nother field that's pretty much fully fertilized, ready to rock, is going to be awesome come springtime, or whenever we can harvest. We're just slide down the hill here, and we're going to hop in our biggest tractor. It's already got a front weight on it, so that'll be pretty useful. And we should be able to just climb up on the back of our trailer and get to plowing. So yeah, just having a peek pretty much at all of our fields. Our vineyard is pretty good. The strips along the sides, there's nothing there, so not a worry. But this is where Olive Garden is here, field 9, and yeah, it's not looking great. There are some stones in our barley field, but nothing we can really do about that now. Of course, we bought it as is, so we'll probably have to deal with that at another time. But our grass field, our cotton underneath there, you can see as well, and looks like our corn. So pretty much all of our fields is the game plan to get done. That's why I wanted to get this bigger one, so we could just go ahead and do that. And I believe there might even be some contracts for plowing, yeah, that we could get done if we wanted to just make the most of our leasing costs here and just really get things done there. So I guess it doesn't really matter where we start, you know what I mean? But suppose it doesn't hurt to just get going, you know? It's gotta happen sometime, so let's do it. I'm not sure if we're gonna combine any of these fields. There are kind of trees in between them, you know, but it would kind of make sense. We don't have to plant there, but I don't know. We'll see. At the same time, kind of just leaving it as is doesn't really change things too much either. So we'll get this done. Sad to see some of this cotton crop go, but yeah, I think it just would have been losing money if we decided to rent a big harvester for all of that. So who knows? I could be wrong, but I don't know. It's our first year here, and I think if we just use winter to get everything kind of back in shape how we want it, that could be pretty good. So looks like we are missing some crops there. I'm not sure if that's just because we need to mulch them down or what the deal is, but I don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll get it done the best we can. And we'll see you on the other side. Hopefully it doesn't take us too long. This is a pretty big plow, so it should be helpful. So, I was having a lot of problems there, as you can see. Going over the same area multiple times, it's just not ideal. And I was like, what the heck is going on? Like, I don't have wheel weights for this guy, which is unfortunate. It looks like that wasn't going down far enough, and I was just like, oh my god, this is a terrible job. I can see why this man did not want to continue on with his life. No, but, well, I had the front weight on, and I was like, well, maybe that's just heavy enough that it's evening out the tractor a little bit, because I wanted to dip in the back. So I took off our front weight. It's just hanging out over here by the tree. I'll try not to forget that it's there. Should be out of the way enough. But just taking that off, let the back end dip down enough to actually like not counter the weight of the plow, and it seems like that's getting the furrows in just deep enough now, because all these fields are pretty uneven, honestly. They look relatively flat, but they're kind of like long rolling hills almost, as you can kind of see in a lot of different areas. So it is a little bit tricky, but yeah, you definitely have to be able to get that plow deep down in there. So hopefully, you know, that fixes our problem. It looks like it definitely helped out just on some of these other areas, but yeah, I mean, not ideal having to go over our fields a couple times. It was happening in the cotton field as well, and I was like, well, maybe that's just what you get for not mulching it, but it was happening in this field as well, and, you know, it's concerning me a little bit, but that's how much of a difference a weight can make on the front of your tractor. So there you go. You know, if you thought it didn't make a difference, now you know, because it looks like, yeah, these are digging in nice and deep into the soil there, and looks like it's coming along pretty nicely now. So we might have to go over our cotton field a little bit again. There are still some little errors on this one, but we should be able to have pretty smooth sailing from here on out. Might have to look into trying our best to smooth out some of these fields over the winter as well. Probably could be pretty helpful. Alright, well, it looks like we got pretty much all of those 3 fields. They're looking a lot better, honestly. That was a little bit of a panic when it wasn't going well, but we seemed to figure it out, you know, problem solving. But I think now we pretty much just need to focus on getting that olive grove done. So we're probably just going to pull this trailer back into the yard, and I mean, we could, I guess, put the front loader with the bucket. That's probably going to be the easiest way to get rid of all those guys. We could use the skid steer as well. Actually, that might be kind of easy to get in between rows, but it's not like we need to stay in between the rows, you know what I mean? So we should be alright. Just, I don't know. I mean, I guess the skid steer is down here. That way we don't have to pull the tractor back up. It's got the plow on it, of course. And I think, well, looks like we actually can use... This guy's got a front loader on him. I don't know, but I would like to maybe plant some grass even if we can. I don't know if that's even going to be an option, but I mean, focusing on getting our fields ready to rock for next year just might be the way to go. We already do have a little bit of silage fermenting. It's not a lot, but it's enough. It's enough to start. So we'll drop off our forks there and probably grab our bucket so we can start clearing out those vines. And yeah, hopefully, like I said, we can get some grafting done over the winter and figure out how to put some twigs together with our grapevines and hopefully just make that other side of the field on the cheap. Pretty much just fence and wire or stuff like that, and we can just make all of the vines ourselves. It's going to be a lot of work, but I think we can get it done. We're pretty slow winter once we get through planting our first fields and stuff like that here, so that might be the way to go. You never know. Alright, well, that's a big open area, if I do say so myself, and I'm glad we got the plow, because yeah, it's going to need it up in here, but that'll be nice to get this field just back to a nice working condition. Looks like there's a nice bump here we might have to smooth out, but yeah, no, that should be pretty good. I'm excited to get this field back up to tip-top shape, so I think, yeah, we may as well just run this all the way back down. Doesn't hurt. But yeah, no, I'm looking forward to getting that in a good position and probably get a bunch more grapevines in there, because that'll be really awesome. These fields are already looking much better. Of course, they are littered with rocks, so I would love to get all those picked up, probably just get some sort of stone picker or something like that on lease and get that going in the works, and then see what happens. It'll be good to have all of our fields in good condition for next year. So I'm looking forward to that. We might be a little bit behind on having a bit of grass, but at the same time, we'll have a lot of options, so that's kind of nice. Suppose we might want to throw on our pallet forks back on here, because it's pretty useful. I like this guy. And we'll just leave him over by the chickie boys. Something like that. Looking good. Alright, let's get to plowing. Let's, yeah. No, it's already about midday, 3:30. So if we can get that done by about 4:30, maybe 5 at the latest, that would be awesome. Well, interestingly enough, I was just kind of checking out the fields before we got started, and after we got rid of all of the olives, it looks like our field actually doesn't need plowing anymore. So that is interesting. It was showing red as it did need it earlier, but if it doesn't anymore, I think that's pretty good then. You know, I'm not sure what the deal is there, and even when I was actually trying to plow it, it didn't want to. So if anything, that kind of just saves us a job, which is awesome. I will take that, and I think if we got a little bit of extra time in the day, since we don't need to do that, we can probably just rip right on down to the store. I don't really mind taking the tractor. It's mostly all back roads. And we'll pick up probably a stone picker of sorts, and then we can head to our fields with that, because if we can get a head start on that, that would be awesome. I don't think we're going to get any contracts done with our plow, purely because, well, we had some issues with it, and this probably is not the best setup for it. I'd love to have something that has wheel weights to just make sure that our plow can really stay in the ground nice and evenly, but unfortunately we do not, and the weight we have kind of just evens out the weight of our plow. So it is what it is, but you know, we're kind of figuring out all the kinks and cracks in this farm as we get it up to shape. So if we return this guy, we can get all those stones out of there. That should be awesome. I think one of them might need lime, but thankfully not all of them. I was expecting to do a whole lot more of that, but we don't have anything to spread lime, so we might need one of those guys as well. We'll see what we can get done. Perhaps we could get a stone picker bucket for the front and bring back that lime spreader and just do that really quick. Oh, put on the brakes. Sorry, champ. You're good. You're good, bud. Guess I should maybe put the hazards on when we're in town. There are some pretty cheap options as far as just front buckets and stuff like that goes, but I think in terms of just getting stuff done, something like this isn't too bad. It's $52,000 to buy, but just to lease it, $2,600. I don't think that's too terrible. So I think we're just going to go ahead and do that, and we can probably hook up. So that is awesome. It should, wow, this is a unit of a machine, hey? So yeah, this should be able to get the job done pretty quickly for us, which is great. A front bucket, although it's cheap, it would take us a long time to do. Something like this, we might even be able to get it done today, so that is awesome. We're going to leave our beacons on and just maybe throw our weight a little bit around town, let them know, hey, we're a big tractor. You can run into us if you want to, but you're going to take more damage. No, I'm kidding. We'll be respectful, but I want to get off these public roads ASAP. As far as rocks go, that's looking so much better. I'll take that. Probably go just get all of these dropped off if we bring it back to town. I think there's a debris crusher somewhere in town that we could bring them to. And I believe there's some lime around there as well, but we should still have enough lime from before. We just need a spreader. So that's not too bad. Turn off our lights. There's still some daylight out there. We can get it done. I don't see why not. It's not a big job, and it's just the one field, and then they're pretty much good to go. So I think we know from experience we don't want to go out that way, especially not when we're pulling a bunch of weight. But yeah, we'll find that debris crusher and probably pick up that same spreader as before, and just make a quick trip to and from the store, and then that should be good for today. Only made a couple $100 from those stones, kind of as expected, so we'll drop this guy back off and see what they got for us. Alright, well, we just got the same one as last time. Another $2,200 or so on leasing costs, but it's not a worry. We went through a fair bit of money today, but we also made a little bit and offset some of that by selling some product this morning, so that definitely helps. And I suppose if we were real smart, we Should have gotten all that plowing done before we planted our wheat, because I'm pretty sure this is the second time we've paid to lease this guy, which we definitely could have saved some money there. Is what it is, but now all our fields will be pretty much in tip-top shape. Alright. Well, that's pretty good. Yeah, probably put more in here than we needed to, but that's alright. Get it unloaded there, and yeah, I think we'll probably just head on back to the shop and drop this guy off. It's been a pretty productive day, filled with challenges as, well, they usually are, especially in these early days, but nothing much you can do about that. But I think that is going to be it for today. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Lots more to come. Thank you so much for joining me. We'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.